Hi again. This is Jim McKinnell, Director of the Office of Pre-Health Profession Student Development at the University of New Mexico, and this is Planning for a Career in Healthcare. I'm glad you joined me. Today I want to talk about the concept of opportunities, of sort of those unexpected things, those chances that arise in our lives that we don't really anticipate, but that sometimes we choose to explore, to take advantage of, and that which may ultimately, surprisingly, enrich our lives in ways that we hadn't expected. When I was growing up, I had a father who was college educated, and so a lot of the times we would have discussions around our dinner table about what a college experience is like and what some of the different aspects of a college experience are. And one of the things that my father loved about it, and which I've grown to love about the environment of a college, is lots of stuff happens on college campuses. Speakers are brought in, artists are brought in. There are concerts that you have access to as being part of a college community that you might not have access to in other communities. There's so much stuff going on, and what we have to do is, as individuals, choose to explore those things, to take advantage of those, to be curious about things, to sort of venture out and actually take a little bit of our time and really see what those kinds of opportunities have to offer. I think that on one level it's nice, and I like to think about it just as a way of kind of just enriching your lives, of just making your own life better, fuller, to raise your awareness of kind of this spectrum of things that are out in the world that may not have been a part of your upbringing or my upbringing, but now we have a chance to sort of learn more and explore those things. When it comes to careers in healthcare and taking advantage of opportunities, now I have a different concern. Because I do think that when we think about putting together, constructing a successful application for a health careers program, we know that those programs are all very competitive. And we know that there are lots of different things that we're going to engage in to really try and show people that we're excellent students, that academically we're strong, that we understand the profession that we're going to go into. But that I think it's also important that we understand that, we show people that we're curious, and that we do, when we're presented with an opportunity, we take advantage of that. The thing that got me thinking about this recently is that we have an event on campus here at the University of New Mexico called the Health Profession Symposium. We offer it once a year. It's a one-day event. And during that event, we offer over the course of the day 90 different information sessions covering basically a whole spectrum of careers in healthcare, as well as different aspects of each of those careers. We cover everything from basics, how to put together a successful application, to what is it like to shadow and why is that important, to can I have a family when I'm in medical school, to how do I pay for it, to do women medical students ever experience sexism? I mean, that literally, those were 5 examples of different workshops or information sessions that we offered this year at the symposium. In addition to that, at lunch, there was a 90-minute information table session where students had the opportunity to meet with representatives from 70 different institutions, programs, and also organizations, so that there were representatives there that wanted to meet students interested in careers in healthcare, wanted to talk with them, wanted to answer their questions. From my perspective, it was an incredible opportunity. We put together all these resources, which in other circumstances might take any individual a lot more effort and much more time and a lot of different days to kind of access the same kind of information that we were giving students the opportunity to access in one day at one place. It was actually, in many respects, a big success. We had 500 students interested in careers in healthcare. A quarter of them are high school students. So for the high school students out there, yes, this is an annual event. It'll happen again. Please sort of be aware of that, and please plan to attend in the future. A quarter of our students that attended were high school students. We had 500 students. It sounds great. My concern was 900 students actually signed up for it, but only 500 students participated. So, of course, I'm sitting there going, why didn't 400 students participate in this program? I looked critically at what we had done, and I thought, did we create obstacles? Did we make it difficult for students to participate in this? Were we somehow responsible for students deciding not to participate? Well, we had been very intentional about making the event free. So there was no charge, so there was no fee to register for it. And we actually provided every participant with lunch. So there was, so it was a day-long event, but we were going to feed people. So I thought, okay, there's no fee, and we give you food. So why are students choosing not to come after they've registered? And so I actually started exploring this with some of the students who I've seen recently in my office. In my office, I asked them first of all if they were aware of the Health Professions Program, the Health Professions Symposium, and then whether or not they'd attended, and if they did, why, and if they didn't, why. So I was speaking with one young man who was very enthusiastic. He said, "Oh my gosh, I went to the Health Professions Symposium this year, and I met so many people that were interested, and I found about 2 or 3 different volunteer opportunities that I was totally unaware of, and I'm really excited. I'm starting to take advantage of these things now." And he was very, very enthusiastic about the event. I was really excited to hear that. And then after his enthusiasm died a little bit, and I got to ask him a question, I said, this young man happened to be starting his senior year. And I said, you know that we had the event last year? And he said, yeah, I was aware of that. And I said, did you come? And he said, no. And I said, why not? And he said, well, I wasn't really sure what it was. And I wasn't really sure that I was going to get anything out of it. And I just, I thought about it and I decided not to come. That was one example of an explanation that I heard. But that example, again, raised my concerns. Because what I want for all of the students that I work with, for all of you who are listening to me, I want you all to have the same opportunity. And if some of you have, because of the environment that you've grown up with, become aware of these kinds of opportunities that may be presented to you, which, regardless of how well you understand, or that how specifically you understand what you might take away from an event like this, the fact that you simply understand that it exists and there is the potential to take away something of value, and because of that potential, of understanding that potential, you choose to participate, as opposed to others of you which have never been made aware of those kinds of possibilities. And so because of that, can't factor the possible value of participating in the event, so therefore we decide not to participate. To me, that's one more way that we introduce disparity into the system. So I want all of you to understand that, when we talk about opportunities, it doesn't necessarily mean, the concept of an opportunity doesn't necessarily mean that this is definitely something that you're going to benefit from. What I need you to understand is that there's the possibility that you can benefit from this, that this in some way may enrich you, your understanding, your life. And because of the potential of the value, that's enough of a reason to make it a priority and to make the effort to attend. Because, of course, we all have other things to do. We all have things that we can do. We can be reading a book. We can go into a movie. We can go to the gym. We can just be vegging out. We can be playing video games. There's always something else that we can be doing. So that the idea that because we're just not quite sure, that we choose to do something that we could do at any other time and pass up the opportunity that occurs literally once a year, but may be so valuable in unanticipated ways, that just makes my heart hurt. And that's something that I want you guys to think about, and I want you, hopefully in the future, when these kinds of things present themselves, I want you to sort of think twice before you simply say on initial reaction, I'm not really sure if that's for me, I'm not really sure, I don't really know exactly what they mean. Do a couple of things, explore. If you're not sure what something is, ask somebody that might know. People organize these events. Find out who's organizing it. Send them an email. Call them up. If you run into them, ask them a question. What is this? Why should I come? So explore that way. And if you've tried and you can't find the answers and you're looking about it, you read about it and you're going, I'm not really sure. But then if there's a possibility, if there's the tiniest possibility that this could really, make a difference for you, really provide you with sort of insights that you didn't have before that could be so valuable for you in your pursuit of your career, then you know what? Think of yourself, think of your career goals, and make that, if you see it as a sacrifice, make that sacrifice. Make the choice to take advantage of an opportunity, understanding that there are no guarantees, but just simply the possibility that it could be of value makes it worth trying. That's really the most important message that I can give you today. If there's the possibility that it's going to be of value, that alone makes it worth trying. All right? Which is why I've titled this episode, If Opportunity Knocks, Answer the Door. Opportunities are going to be placed before you. You're going to have the chance to meet people. You can you always have a choice. Do I want to walk up to someone after a presentation that I found very interesting and introduce myself or not? No, they don't really want to talk to me. I'm no one. They're kind of big and important. They've given this presentation. Hey, they've made the effort to come where you are, to that event, to that area, to that class maybe, to give that talk. Go introduce yourself to them. Tell them you enjoyed the talk. Tell them what you're interested in doing. If you're interested in the work that they're doing and you want to know more about them, tell them that. Ask them if you can contact them. But take advantage of those opportunities. Please advocate for yourself. There are lots and lots of times, I think, in all of our lives where these kinds of situations exist. And we're on the fence. Should I not? And I think the easy decision in my mind is to decide, nah, I'm not going to do that today. I'm not. Don't do that. You're shortchanging yourself. You're compromising. I think you're really compromising kind of some of the truly valuable experiences that you might have. You may not access those experiences because of that choice. And in the end, when you're pursuing, as I said, such a competitive career, as a career in healthcare, in the end, you may actually be compromising your chances of success in that pursuit. And I don't want you to do that. All right. I think that's it for today. Thanks so much for hanging in there with me. Thanks for tuning in. If you make sure that if you like the content of the videos, let me know. Let your friends know. Share with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed, please take the time to subscribe. This is Jim McKinnell, Director of the Office of Pre-Health Profession Student Development at the University of New Mexico. And this has been Planning for a Career in Healthcare. I'll see you next time.